Thank you. And 43 is an item on Potrero Road to put in a no overnight parking, to introduce, waive reading, and adopt the urgency ordinance to prohibit parking overnight. So I just want to, in previous conversations that I've had and questions that I've asked about this item, I was assured that there were not people encamped at this location, and that this was simply a safety, a road safety issue. And I've since heard that that may not actually be accurate description of the situation at Protrero Road. And so I just, again, want to emphasize, and I will pound this drum, that we need, or that this, if that is the case, that the urgent need for additional safe parking locations to be identified in every single district of the county and in every single city within our county, so that people have safe and legal places to sleep. It's not right for us to simply tell people you can't stay here when we're simply offering no other alternative location. Our shelters are full. The affordable housing that we have available is not actually sufficient to meet the needs. And for people who are barely holding their life together by living in their vehicle, when we simply continue to kick the can down the road, it's not sufficient. It's not, doesn't treat people with the dignity and respect that they deserve. And so my ask is, again, that we continue to get information and identify safe parking locations that can be established in every single district and in every single city within Monterey County.
Thank you for your comments, Supervisor Riascu, and I'll go to Supervisor Phillips for comments or questions.
Yeah, this was done at the request of the people living on Potrero Road, and the problem is you have the Salinas River State Beach down at the end, and they close at a certain time, and then most of these people are ones who don't then want to go to a mobile home facility. They go and park there, and there's been problems of them dumping their sewage on the side of things. So most of it is the people come up in there. There may be a few that are choosing to live there full time, and that is frankly unacceptable. So I don't want to see what's happened down in front of the Supervisor Aishu's office coming to our North County area. And so we're trying to address the concerns of our citizens there that we spent quite a bit of time on this. So I appreciate the support for this. Thank you.
Are there any other members of the board that wish to comment on this? Just make a couple of comments myself, and I share the concern that we just are shifting people around. If we don't allow overnight parking in some kind of locations, we need to continue to look for better locations where people can sleep safely in their vehicles and access services so that they may be able to move out of their vehicles into housing. So my hope, though, is that we just continue to focus on affordable housing, that we quickly fill the new homeless director position so that that person can come on board and coalesce the players and the programs and the potential solutions to this issue. Is there any member of the public that wishes to pull on this item since it's been pulled, item number 43 in the consent calendar? I need to look for help to see if anyone is either in the audience or on Zoom.
None in the board chamber.
Thank you. Okay.
Actually, someone just walked to the podium.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Wes White, Salinas, Monterey County Homeless Union. In regards to Potrero Road, it's definitely been, knocking people out from one place to the other, and there is nowhere. I mean, if you do the math on how many people need to be served and how many people you're serving, it's not adding up at all. And you can't have an imbalance like that and expect people to just go away. I mean, we're driving people toward death in a lot of instances, and we say we're here to care about people. We have 4 or 5 different departments, we have all these different jurisdictions, and all y'all just, every single jurisdiction, you don't want to actually help people, and that's really the driving force. I mean, if you look, people from Lapis Road, the first time around in 2016, what happened to those folks? Well, they ended up all around the Colonel Durham and Roberts Lake and the Marina Coastal parking lot, Potrero River. They're everywhere because we're refusing to actually service the people we say we're going to help. and we're using money to do it. You know, there are people there, you have some employees that are just tearing themselves up inside because they can't actually function the way that they're supposed to function, their mission is supposed to happen. And then we have a different department like law enforcement. We always have a justification. It's usually business oriented, tax revenue, how much money you got. Well, if you ain't got none, well then I'm gonna make money off you. And that's just wrong. We can't do that anymore. We shouldn't be doing that anymore. And to block this, having no parking here, no parking there, signs everywhere, signs. But when are we actually gonna make our words real? The part that says we're gonna care about people and make sure that liberty and justice for all, that's even people who don't have money, you know, I mean, not just for as long as you can afford it, because this isn't the casino life, this is real life, you know, it's not just on paper. A lot of people are dead on paper, and there's no way they're gonna qualify, they can't afford places. They not only need a place to sleep, they need a place to be. That's why you need to stop the sweeps, and you need to stop this right now from even, you need to redirect your energy into actually helping.
Timer 8 has completed.
Thank you so much, Mr. White. I appreciate your comments. Okay, so is there anyone else in chambers or on Zoom who wishes to comment on this consent item? Okay, great. So let's go back then.
I see one hand is raised via Zoom.
Okay. And if you could identify yourself, please, and make your comments. You have 2 minutes beginning now.
Hi, this is Wildpopper.
Here we go.
Sorry, my phone has been acting up. What I want to say is there's people over at Chili's from the marina. They are getting run out. A couple of them have been, their health has been down. They're having vehicle problems. It's not fair to promise at the marina that we'll have vehicles fixed, like mine didn't get fixed the past month. That's what's happening out there. Promises are being broken. People are being left out there to get sick. I just woke up from a dream where, because I'm in a room, I was put up in a room, but I woke up from a dream where I was getting dragged out of my room. Just literally dragged out of my room, getting kicked out. Couldn't even get my stuff. I woke up in sweat. I woke up at 10:51. Immediately I realized I need to get on Zoom and let them know that even though I'm in a safe place right now, that I'm still having nightmares of what's happening to all of us as a group. We need to do something. You guys need to hold your promises. You need to do more than just look around and then say, oh, well, we looked for months and months, and no, you didn't. You didn't, because there's a way out there. We have so many suggestions. People that are homeless are out there looking for places. We spot them, and as soon as we spot them and bring it to your attention, all of a sudden, oh no, we're developing on that property. So I'm tired of excuses. My friend lost her voice because she's stressed out. She couldn't talk for a few days. You know, her vehicle.
Public comment has completed.
Far, thank you very much for being with us today. And I am so sorry that you're having the dreams that you are. That's pretty devastating. Are there any other members on Zoom any other people on Zoom that wish to comment on this item? Are we seeing anyone?
I don't see any other hands raised.
Okay, with that,
Consent.
is there a second?
Seconds.
So that would be to move the consent agenda, items 22 to 43, minus item 34, on which we already had a separate vote. Could you do a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Supervisor Alejo?
Aye.
Supervisor Phillips?
Aye.
Supervisor Lopez?
Aye.
Supervisor Askew?
Aye.
And Chair Supervisor Adams?
Aye. Thank you very much. Okay, with that, we will move forward and we will come to public comments, general public comments, number 11, which are items not on today's agenda. Is there anyone in chambers who is coming forward to comment on any items which are not on today's agenda?
one person is coming to the podium.
Hi, I'm Wes White, Salinas Monterey County Homeless Union again. On an overall issue, I mean, you know, we're still worried about at least 3,000 people in this county. We're gonna do another point-in-time count. And, I mean, there's still sweeps happening everywhere. If we're worried about affordable housing, then already these tents, these vehicles, that's already a form of affordable housing. And the best part is nobody's paying for it, other than the people living in them. So there's been a lot of support, mutual aid, you know, help from the community, helping people go around. You know, specifically Potrero River has been evicted 4 different times since being evicted from December 5 or 14 or whatever date, you know, it ended up being that the county did it. And they're still struggling, and it's like, what are we doing? Because if it wasn't for the help of these other people, you know, there's $10,000, $12,000 already spent. You know, just trying to support people, put them into hotels. There's one guy, he's incontinent in a wheelchair, older man, and you know, he can't qualify for Salvation Army or any of those programs there locally because he's too much of a pain and a problem, and they don't appreciate that because, you know, who gets paid to care? They, you know, and they're here to warehouse you, and that's about what ends up happening because there has to be a docile, submissive group of people that are allowed to go in there, and everyone else just dead to the wind, and you know, we just attack them, and that's really the policy that precludes every jurisdiction, including this one. So I guess I can't blame you directly, but still, you know, you shouldn't be doing this because we need to be treating people better. You know, with the service that we're coming across, we make excellent business people, but you know, there's lives at stake here, and you're actually creating yourself a liability every time. You know, there was so much death this happened this last year, and you know, it's easily preventable, and it's the social ills. You know, we're causing cracks to begin with, and we need to stop doing that stuff.
Public comment has completed.
Okay, so we lost a member of our community. She overdosed, and I did make a point on that before that happened, that during the holidays, there's not going to be people making it through it. She was an example. And where I'm staying at, there was a suicide hanging, as they're calling it. The guy was not checked on for several days. His brother had to find him, which is not a pretty sight. I don't understand, you keep breaking us up, and then we all go in our own way, and we're all over the city. You know, businesses are complaining about us, and it wouldn't happen if you would have let us stay as a community, if you would have let us stay in one area. Instead, you're breaking us up, and then we're all over. We're everywhere. And I would look at it as just keep them together so we don't have to deal with them all over different counties. You know, it doesn't make sense how you do that. You break up a community in one spot, in one area, and then after that, we're everywhere. You know, getting thrown out and everything, and you're spending money on chasing us instead of putting the money into helping us. You're spending money on the sweeps, and the people you contract to take the stuff away are getting most of the money. A big chunk of the money is supposed to go to help us homeless. It does not make sense. We need to stop the sweeps. We need to stop breaking up community when they are workable. This young lady that took her own life, she was depending on this community. You know, she was depending on it. And as soon as they broke us up a month later, she's dead. Thank you. She meant a lot to me. I was counseling her. Bella was counseling her. Sylvia was comforting her. We're all trying to give her hope.
Public comment.